Prajwal Revanna, the Lok Sabha member of parliament from Karnataka's Hassan, has been in the news for a lot of wrong reasons, mostly because of that sex scandal from Karnataka. There have been demands ever since then that he should come back to India and the government of India should revoke his diplomatic passport. However, today we are not going to discuss about him or his so-called sex scandal. Rather, what we are going to do is discuss about this diplomatic passport. What are these diplomatic passports? Who gets the right to get these diplomatic passports? Can the government of India revoke them? And if they can, under which particular rule can they do that? So let's find out more about it. First, let's try and understand what are the different types of passports that the government of India issues. So mainly there are three types of passports that the government of India issues. First, ordinary passports that you and me, we would get. Second are official passports. Official passports are the ones that are given to government officials who are usually going on a government duty. For example, let's say you are an IAS officer and you are going to a specific country to represent the government and take part in any conference. So you would be given an official passport. And then third comes the diplomatic passport. Diplomatic passports are usually given to the government ministers, members of parliament, etc. that are not representing the government per se, but they are a part of the government. Now, interestingly, diplomatic passports can even be used for your own personal visit, as has been the case here. In case of Prajwal Revanna, he is supposedly in Germany and he did not require a visa for that as well. Let's see how that actually happens. If you look at the different passports that we have, the ordinary passport that you and me we get, they usually come in blue jacket and they have a validity of 10 years. So for example, you got a passport on 1st of January 2010. It will only be valid till 31st of December 2020, after which it will become invalid. On the other hand, you have official passports. Official passports come in a white color jacket. The diplomatic passports, on the other hand, are also called as D passports. Diplomatic passports have a tenure of 5 years because that is a tenure of a Lok Sabha member of parliament as well. Interestingly, you and me, the ordinary people, usually have to go to the passport office to get our passports made. But with diplomatic passports, that is not the case. For diplomatic passports, there is a specific division within the Ministry of External Affairs that will issue these passports. So they don't have to visit these passport offices like you and me. And that division is called the Passport and Visa Division of the Ministry of External Affairs. Not just this, the diplomatic passports are even given to the spouse of member of parliament. So if you are a member of parliament, your husband or your wife would also be eligible to get this diplomatic passport. And as I said earlier, these diplomatic passports can even be used if you are traveling on your personal visit, as is the case in case of Prajwal Revanna. Now, usually, when you get to use this diplomatic passport, if you want to go abroad, the usual situation is that there is a portal of the Ministry of External Affairs where you will have to go and first register so that the government can keep a track, the government can make sure that wherever you are going you are safe, the government can keep a track of you. But in case of Mr. Revanna, he did not apply to this portal. Now the question is, if the government says, we did not know where he went, we did not know he has left the country, is it possible? Is it possible for the government to know that you or me, we have left the country? It is, because obviously we need to get a visa. And when you are traveling outside the country, you go to the airport, you go to immigration, there is a stamp on our passport, on our visa, only then the government gets to know that we are leaving the country. So how is it possible that in case of Mr. Prajwal Revanna, the government did not know about it? The reason here is a special visa waiver agreement. A lot of countries around the world have a visa waiver agreement with each other. India, for example, has a visa waiver agreement with 34 nations. These visa waiver agreements say that when a government official is traveling from one country to the other country, they do not require a visa. And this is the most important detail of the case. Prajwal Revanna went to Germany. While going to Germany, he did not require a visa because India has a visa waiver agreement with Germany that does not require a visa for Indian officials or Indian passport holders who are diplomatic passport holders. And that is the point which comes to light in this case. In the past few days, there have been multiple demands that his passport should be revoked, meaning that he should not be allowed to travel anymore, he should come back. In fact, the Chief Minister of Karnataka also has requested to the central government, more specifically to the Ministry of External Affairs, that his passport should be revoked. Now, how is that possible? Actually, if you look at the Passport Act of 1967, it has a specific section for revocation of the passport. For example, the passport can be revoked if you gave wrong information when your passport was being made, if you have been convicted in a criminal case, if a criminal case is going on against you and the court believes that you would be a threat of leaving the country and you should not get your passport, or if it is in the national interest. Under all these circumstances, the passport can be confiscated or passport can be taken away. Can the Karnataka government do that? Obviously not. This is a matter of the central government. The central government, the Ministry of External Affairs, has to take a decision in this regard. The passport can also be revoked under this act if you have been sentenced for 2 years or more in jail. Now, as you know, for MPs and MLAs specifically, we have some special courts in India. In fact, the special court for elected representatives has just issued an arrest warrant against the missing member of parliament. This seems to be enough for the central government to revoke the passport. However, it has not been done so far till we are making this particular video. This is all you needed to know about diplomatic passports. Do subscribe for more such knowledge. Thank you so much for coming here.